This video is made for adult collectors because I spilled water all over myself about 5 minutes ago. It was kind of funny. Gamer edition. Gamer edition. Gamer edition. Something's gone wrong. This was the figure, other than Package Refresh Jazz, that I was the least excited for in this start of the year refresh thing that they've done with both lines. The promo images, that's not how you say images. The promo images, there we go, and the pose they had him in on the rotating table weren't super convincing. Fast forward to him now releasing, and people are starting to actually like this figure a lot. Not everyone, mind you, but there's a lot of people I'm seeing that are like, oh, I actually really like this thing, what the hell? But I wanted to reserve judgment till I got it, because it still looked a bit wonky to me, and yes, while it is still a bit wonky, it's kind of its charm. Also, Cam from Toy Hacks posted this and it made me actually impatient for this figure. Anyways, this is Devastation Optimus Prime, the other deluxe A-level figure of the year, which means you will be seeing this a lot on store shelves. And it looks kind of neat with the stylized Devastation proportions and the nice flat colors. It feels very toyetic and pleasing on the eye, and I really like how the cell shading is delegated just to the windows. It fits well but isn't too overbearing. The toy also feels incredibly solid. Nothing is loose, everything sits where it should sit, and the joints are nice and tight, but not too tight. The wheel butt is a bit weird though. It sticks out and looks a bit awkward back there, more awkward than the Earthrise one. I do like how the toy creates the shaping of the torso using the real grille and some side stripe section things to hold it all together. It's a deluxe that does the disappearing stripe thing. I think that's pretty neat. Head sculpt is very Devastation Prime, more on the rounder side. Mine did show up with a small paint chip on the mouth plate, which is a tad annoying because it's like front and center. He is a nice size and has a pretty good hand feel. Like, I find myself picking this up really often just because while he's sitting on my desk, I'll just be like, oh, here he is in my hand. He's currently in my hand right now. I wonder if you can hear his wheels, but that's Devastation Prime. The axe though, I don't like it very much. It's just that tacked on whoosh. I wish it was either removable or wasn't there. And the paint is a bit weird in some areas around the handle. I just end up giving him the second gun that the G1 Toy Prime came with. Speaking of handles, both of the handles, the handle on the gun and on the axe, are so stiff to hold. I'm too scared to put them all the way into his hands. He also has an unpainted matrix, which he can hold. Some people compare this thing to the 2006 Classics Deluxe from 2006. And yeah, I could totally see it. Anyways, the articulation, it's a bit funky. There are some strange choices made here, but they do end up working mostly. So the way this thing is built and the way this thing works is kind of funky and strange. And there's a couple of choices here where I'm like, why? But overall, it still does what you would want it to do, sort of. He just keeps wobbling. Lay down. Head is on a swivel, not a ball joint, so you can get a full 360. However, there is a plate that it sits on, so you can use that if you want to make him look up a little bit, but like, you do get that gap there, so that's something you have to worry about. Shoulders are the trigger happy hot roddy style thing, so you have rotation and they go up. Now they don't bump into the head at all, and the the smokestacks don't bump into the head either unless you like really go far out, but they don't hit the head. So I'm honestly okay with these shoulders. They don't look weird because they don't stab the head. And then you have this sort of butterfly joint because of transformation. Now what's interesting is normally a joint like this has a rivet going through here that holds it into this like swivel part, but if you take the smokestack off, there's no pin, there's no rivet. And I was like, huh, how does this work? And I lifted it up, I'm like, maybe it goes through here. No, there's nothing in there. And then I pulled on it. It's a ball joint in a big tube. I'm not complaining about this. I think this is actually a really neat solution to this problem of not needing to use a big metal pin, because then you can spend money on other things. But yeah, it's kind of neat how they just use ball joints in there. Biceps can swivel. You have a 90-degree bend at the elbow. Nothing at the wrist because they have a giant pin going through them to swivel in. He does have a waist joint. Now the butt bit does kind of get in the way, but you can move it back to allow for mostly rotation. You get that far either way. And it makes that click sound because the wheels click into they click over this little hinge here. It's not gonna break, like this is all palm, but yeah, it is a little bit awkward. Also, I find myself, every time I pick up a toy, he's Sentinel here, I pick him up like this, right? I'll go in, grab it from here, and pick it up. With this guy, you grab him here, and if you press in the wrong spot, you unclip the chest grill, it just squeezes back together, but that is a tiny, tiny bit annoying. The hips, they can go forward that far, they can go back that far, they can go in and out. No thigh rotation. He has above the knee rotation, so you still get what a thigh swivel will get you, but it looks weird. And I was thinking, when I first saw images of this and I saw that there's an above the knee rotation, I was like, okay, there probably wasn't any room to cut the thigh. There's plenty of room in there to cut the thigh. I don't know why they didn't do it. I mean, if they just moved the mushroom up maybe and then made this one solid piece that went into the knee, you wouldn't be using more parts. But it is a bit weird. And that's not for transformation at all. It just is like that. And I'm not a huge fan of how that looks, but you get 90 degrees of bend at the knee and like the rotation. And then you have ankle tilt that goes all the way. So he has all of the articulation you need. He's just a tiny bit awkward to use it because of where they've located some of the joints. It just takes a little bit of getting used to it first, but it's fine. So yeah, robot mode this is winning me over. It's the more I mess with it, the more I like it. It's not perfect by any means, but it's fun, and it looks like how I would picture a mainline toy of this design to look. So is the alt mode the same? So the transformation, I did the chest thing. The transformation is a bit of a spin on the classic G1 Optimus conversion with like a couple of really simple things in the legs and the way the torso works. Actually, the torso kind of feels a little bit Masterpiece-y or Earthrise-y, sort of, except this doesn't have a fake grill, which I think is really cool. So to start with, we're going to plug the feet in and then fold the toes and the heel down. Then we are going to come up here to the top section. We're going to take this piece and just sort of rotate the wheels down. That'll free up the chest, so you can now rotate the whole thing. We're going to take the head, rotate it 180 degrees, and fold it up, and it's going to segment this piece into place. I'm just also going to fold the hands in right now. Once we have this done, I am going to then take the legs and bring them up. You're going to fold out the trailer hitch, because he does have a trailer hitch, and then you want to open, these are a little bit stiff on my copy, but you want to open up these panels here, rotate the wheels 90 degrees, and then peg all of this together. Get that all nice and squeezed up. Peg the wheels into place, take these chest sections here, and these will rotate around, and there's these little tabs right here that they're going to sit in. Now you have to make sure the legs are all the way up and hugging the crotch section. There's like a little cavity in there for them. If you don't have that lined up properly, none of this will tab together. And that bugged me when I first got it, because I was like, why is it not work? Oh, I'm just an idiot. Once you do that, we're going to close this section up, straighten out the grill, and then you want to bring the arms down, and they do the traditional Optimus Prime thing of going in. Now, this is probably the most fiddly part of the transformation, just because shoving these in here is a bit annoying. So this will tab into the neck, and then this will rotate in. And there's a little tab down here that's going to go into a little slot on the wheel, while also fitting the fist into place and making sure everything is lined up. And that's one side. So again, you just bring this down, peg this in, rotate it around, and then just sort of finagle it into place. Come on. There he is. Just make sure everything's plugged together. And that is your truck with a single tooth. It's a truck with a single tooth. That is a silly truck mode, but I kind of like it. Again, it has that Classics Prime vibe with the slightly longer truck bed and the smaller cab, but I do still kind of like it. For them trying to make the traditional G1 Prime transformation a bit different, I think this is okay. The trailer hitch does stick up like a sore thumb, but he can take trailers, so that's something. And the axe can store on the back using a tab. He also has pinned wheels. I love seeing that becoming more of a thing on lots of new toys. Again, means rolling this thing is a treat. It's also just a solid truck. Just like the robot, nothing wants to come off. Everything stays where it's supposed to stay. And as a whole, this thing has grown on me quite a bit. Sure, it's far from perfect, but I'm still having fun with it. And at the end of the day, that's the whole purpose of a toy. Should you pay full price for it though? Well, it is A-level, so it's going to be on shelves for longer than any other figure, so that means it will hit sales more so than other toys. So I'd recommend getting it, but for sale price. He's still fun, and I don't feel bad for paying full for it, but like some extra money off is always nice. But that's been my look at Transformers Studio Series, quote-unquote Gamer Edition, Devastation Optimus Prime. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.